All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Big Three podcast. Today we got Finesse, we got Gary, we got Rob. The whole deal with this, just kind of, first episode, a little bit of housekeeping, trying to explain what's going to be happening with this. It's going to be me and Gary for every episode, and then we're going to have a rotating third guest. Try and get the guests a little diverse. Today we're starting it with Rob, keeping it at home. You know what I mean? Eventually, it'd be dope if this could grow and kind of hit different parts where we're getting people like from around the Midwest and stuff. But we have zero issues keeping it with good old Robbie, right? So if you want to eventually be in one of these, because that would be dope, do hit up me or Gary. We'll try and get some guests, keep it rotating it again. Gary, did I miss anything?
Yeah, what we really want to do with this podcast is just like make an outlet for people to talk about Smash Bros. Especially, and we designed it for the East Michigan scene, that people can hop on the podcast and get an opportunity to talk about their favorite players, how they play the game, how they see the game, what how their character does in different matchups or versus meta or whatever, right? Whatever Smash related things, either in or out of the game, that you want to talk about. We really want to give that avenue to our scene, and then ideally we branch out and bring it to other scenes as well. But that's really it.
Exactly.
And then this is also sort of an eventual Smash 6 waiting room. Hopefully the game comes out sooner than later. And, you might be wondering what the Big Three is and why we named that on the podcast. But originally, the Dallas scene, during like the Steve ban era of Smash Bros, the Dallas scene was quick to banning Steve and Kazuya and Rob. And so it sort of became.
I didn't even know they banned Rob.
and so it sort of became a joke for especially Brandon Gordon and Lavish, that they would refer to those three characters as the Big Three. And then it started turning that the Big Three would also include just the character that they hated the most. So Brandon would say Steve, Rob, and Crom, and those are the big and that's sort of how the podcast where that third character spot also rotates, similar to how third player or member rotates.
Then now Brandon Gordon uses the Big Three to talk about his favorite Pokemon.
Yeah, and you'll have to ask him about that. You'll have to ask him.
All right, well, I guess speaking of Snake Mains, first episode, we got Robbie. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, taking over the Snake Mantle since Brandon's left, I guess.
Yeah,
but
it's been
trying to keep him on the PR, bro. Trying to keep him on.
Yeah, he has to. And I guess also speaking of like keeping PR and like big tournaments, we should definitely talk about Crossroads. Both of you guys entered Crossroads. Robbie doesn't want to talk about it though.
We don't got to talk about it, man. Don't worry.
I mean, you didn't. I mean, I don't know. For me, obviously, you had a nice one on Dylan, which helped me out because I'm terrible against heavies. Yeah. But you helped me out there.
Robbie versus Dylan. Loser got 25th there. You knocked out Dylan at 25th.
Dude, I played Dylan and Yoder to get 13th. They get 13th or 17th. I don't even know, man. I think I got 17th.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I beat Yoder and Dylan and still got 17th.
But, yeah, wait, let me check. Yeah, you did get 17th. Did you get? Oh, yeah, you beat Yoder. Okay, my bad.
I got double eliminated by movement TOs, including Gog.
Yeah, that's great. Did you guys see the tweet? Did you guys see the tweet of the guy who was like, like TOs who enter their brackets are so cringe, and everyone was like, "Hey, this is you self-reporting for like being bad and to like lose to your TOs." Dude, that's a PR play.
I don't know.
That's funny. On the TO side, especially if you only have one TO trying to run a 20 to 30 man bracket, even like as small as 16. I think it's really best if the TO does not enter bracket. Yeah, just to make sure everything runs smoothly.
My whole thought on that was like, if the TO entering doesn't like affect the smoothness of how things are running, right? Like if you have a backup or like multiple TOs running it, I see no reason not to. Because
I was always very comfortable when both during the era where we were having like 45 entrants at movement, and it was me and Ivan being the two TOs, and I was doing the everything, and Ivan was running everything regarding stream.
Yeah.
And that dynamic worked really well for us, and neither of us had time or room to like do anything, to play anything.
So
Fair. I
Gar,
don't think it matters much.
Gar, did you want to talk about your Crossroads run? Because you kind of went nuts.
Whoa,
Because Rob is clearly trying to dodge
Did
that.
he beat anyone good?
No, he did not.
Well,
He did not.
well, my run, my Winterside run came to an unexpected halt when I went 2-0, when I was up 2-0 against a certain someone's Rosalina and Luma that was getting rocked by Wolf. And then he switched to a certain Bowser character.
Oh, wowzer.
I struggled versus that. I lost 2 last hit games and then 1 last stock game, but it was very funny. Me and Oosh Aaron were sitting next to each other on 2 different setups. So like I'm playing like we're in the middle between Linus on the end, Robbie on the other end. And I lose, and I lose like right about the same time as Aaron wins. Aaron wins, he gets up, he's celebrating, and I lose, and my head's in the ground. I'm frustrated because I just got reverse 3-0'd by Bowser. Like, this is not what I wanted to happen. So it was funny. Like we go get some wings from DWC, and he's talking about the match. He's like, "Oh, I had a good time. You know, I love that matchup. I love playing Robbie." And then I'm the other way around. I'm like, "Man, I hate this. This sucks." and then top 32 starts, and it was definitely the other way around.
Yeah, because top 32, you got Blade, and who do you have to play? Oh, he played Linus.
Blade.
He played Linus.
Yeah, we had to play Linus right away. So
the winner of
the
winner of me and Linus. It was funny because those 2 sets, me and Linus, and then Oosh and Rob, played each other in top 32.
Right. Yeah.
So it was very right there.
The other thing I'm seeing, looking at your bracket, I always think about this like as a player because obviously I'm not making deep runs. So this kind of is a question that extends to both of you. When you play like multiple game 5s in a row but you still win, does that like fatigue you or feel more stressful moving into your next set than like beating someone easily, or do you kind of just not think about your past set when you're moving on?
For me, if I win a game 5, I'm feeling so much. I'm honestly feeling more confident than if I just like won 3-0.
Really?
Kinda, yeah, because like I clutched out a tight set.
Right, you like
Even
persevered.
if it was versus someone who's like, maybe not like super great, it still makes me feel like I'm playing well.
Yeah, that
Is it
makes
hard
sense.
for endurance? For endurance?
Or endurance? Endurance kind of hasn't really been a problem for me in a while, I think. Unless it's like matchups that matter for endurance.
Yeah.
Rather than like how many games I play.
Like what's
That makes
what's a bad endurance matchup for you? Like
Young Link
Pac-Man?
Game & Watch. No, Pac-Man's fine. Young Link Game
Oh,
&
really?
Watch. Like Kazi is tough for me just mentally because I'm like stressing the whole time. Diddy, I don't like Diddy.
Diddy Kong.
Really?
I start stressing.
Yeah.
Any character that like starts stressing me out, that's where my endurance kind of fails. But
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Are you the same way with endurance? Generally?
I'm like not the same way. I think Smash is super like momentum, like on a very like grand scale. Like if you have energy and you get to play all your sets like back to back to back, like it doesn't matter what the games look like. If you have energy and it's like and like you're going, I mean it feels great. Like that run at Crossroads for me, like I was just off of a 8-ounce can of Red Bull. And
I remember you talking about
and
that.
I was moving, man. I had my slump during lunch, and then I was like in the game, and I could have played 3 more sets. I was like roaring to go, at that moment in time. So
yeah, I remember you were on commentary with the Red Bull talking about, bro, this Red Bull, dude, this is getting me going.
I needed it, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need it.
Yeah, just like that one thing to push you over the edge. So I guess to move on, Rob, you sounded earlier when we were testing like you wanted to talk about the Arcadian.
Yes,
What were your
okay.
thoughts on that?
Well, I wasn't so much like I didn't really want to talk about the seeding for it and who's gonna win and like all this speculation
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
all.
really exciting.
Mm.
What I guess I more wanted to talk about was like my experience with Arcadians and for anyone who's going to it and expecting to do well, especially if you're expecting to do well, um, don't like take it that seriously, I
Yeah.
guess.
Hmm.
I think Arcadians are like some of the most fucked tournaments in terms of results and what can happen and like dude, I mean, look no further than like Suspect last year at the Arcadian. He got what 33rd, and now he's top what two player in the
Yeah,
state. Like,
now he's beating
Yeah.
Tarek. Like,
yeah, like
That set was so fun.
that was amazing. But
who did he
regardless
lose
of
to?
that, like
Who's he lose to? Do you remember
Yeah,
either of
he
the
lost
players
to
Shattuck.
he lost to?
Shattuck and Mr. E both game 5.
No. Not. I'm sorry. Not at the
Oh.
he lost
Arcadian.
to Spection, and I don't remember. Maybe Soul. No, Solar was
Yikes.
winners.
Yeah,
Hey,
dude,
dude,
everyone gets it.
he
Everyone
hasn't
gets
lost to
it.
Spection against since. It's just that's what I mean with Arcadians, though. Like.
Yeah,
Don't like put that much on the line for yourself.
Mhm.
After I
that's a.
lost, I was like so demoralized, man.
I got you.
Like
Me too.
just yeah, like
It's
losing
funny
at
that you
arcades
also had,
is horrible.
it's funny that you also had that interview because first Arcadian, um, that was the beginning of the Mario era, and
Ah,
Yeah.
the
and I was
Gario.
like the the Gario, right?
Yeah.
And I I lost to Prod in winners, who's a Wii Fit. And I don't really
He
know
made a
that much
run.
about him.
I was gonna
He
say
had
I
a
haven't
great
heard
run
of
that
him.
day, and he played
I think
great
he got
that day.
second. Yeah, he got second.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, I have heard of him.
and like losing to him, and then getting put in losers and playing Defoe for like 25th, I think, like 25th or 17th, like
Damn.
that, like sucked.
Damn.
That was like it was like really hard. So
Yeah.
and then I beat myself up about. It was just like
Arcadians are brutal, man.
you know.
Yeah, I don't know
Just
who it was, but
you're-
I think Rob, you were
you-
the one talking to me about like you were like at the last Arcadian, like walking around consoling people, like playing therapist for everybody who was like sad about like their lost.
no. They were playing therapist for me.
Oh.
I was feeling lost, dude. I had like Brandon was there, like a lot of people, a lot of homies were there, and
Mhm.
like for anyone who's gonna go through that, because there's gonna be people going through that, you can talk to me, man. Seriously,
Hell yeah.
I'll be there. Dude, that shit's gonna suck. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm really excited, but I'm also like kind of dreading it at the same time.
Yeah, there's a lot
Interesting.
of like current PR players that are kind of just going to watch the mayhem. It seems, which is exciting.
Oh yeah, I think they're having a PR like round robin event there as well to get more
Oh,
like
really?
head-to-head data. So
Okay, that's cool.
yeah.
That's
So
cool.
so there's like there'll be a lot of people there, but seriously, talk to me, talk to other people you know. If like, dude, that thing's it's so tough, man. It's so
Yeah, Smash is a weird game more than like other like sports because and also other than it's also different from other like multiplayer games because it's all about you, but there's a lot of factors that go in.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's just so many micro details that go into Bros and the games are only 4 or 5 minutes and it's and
Yeah.
there's things that you just could not have prepared for. The game is ruthless. The game really truly is ruthless.
It's kind of like
But,
I'm
that's what makes it exciting.
ruthless. Yeah.
Yeah, ruthless Xeno.
It is ruthless. Yeah.
It's kind of I've been in the Rocket League for a while, right? And it's pretty like commonly agreed upon and known in like the Rocket League community that like 1v1s is like by far the most tilting game mode, right? There's like no like dispersion of responsibility. It's all on you when you lose, and like Smash has that like depending on the mindset to either a greater or lesser extent, right? Because some people will like lose matches that they felt like they should have won and like really beat themselves beat themselves up over it, right?
Yeah.
Where other people will just kind of realize that there are like other factors that went into it and like kind of brush it off. Yeah, it definitely can be super brutal, especially with Arcadians, because I think more so than any other tournament, you're gonna have high seeds playing well and like low seeds or high seeds playing poorly and low seeds playing well with like
The margin of
I know what
the
you mean.
player base is like so small, right?
yeah
So
Yeah, exactly. And because there's not really like gatekeepers to kind of lock down the consistency of it, you're gonna have some real ugly and some real beautiful performances.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun though. I'm really looking forward to it. Like Orion Cage is gonna put on a great event.
Give me a
Yeah.
second.
Royal Oak.
As always,
Royal
as
Oak's
always.
awesome, dude. Royal Oak's awesome.
Yeah,
You guys have
yeah,
been
I'm
to
a
Royal
big-
Oak much?
I'm a big Royal Oak fan. There's this place. I don't know how close it is to the venue, but I know it's in Royal Oak. If you're planning on going to the Arcadian, get yourself over to Little Brothers Burgers. That place is amazing.
It's okay.
It's so,
what are you talking
what?
about?
That's
It's
nuts.
what are you
That's
talking
nuts.
about?
It's so good, dude. Because everything is like
trolling. I don't-
$3, and it's like a 8 out of 10 burger for like $5. It's crazy good.
Little Bros?
Yeah.
Nah, dude. No, I know. There's an ice cream shop right next to that that's like really good.
Yeah.
They're Asians.
Yeah, that
great
place is awesome. That place is awesome.
There's so many good places.
Okay,
Don't go to Little Bros.
To be fair though, about Little Bros, I've only ever had it after concerts, so I'm like dehydrated and hungry, and I'm just like scarfing it down. So it might,
that's why,
it might
bro.
not actually be that good. In all fairness, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Bear Asian's really good. That's like my favorite place in Royal Oak at the moment.
Okay, okay, I might check it
If
out.
you like Asian food, it's so good.
Dude, I kind of have the same thing with Cane's, where I only
Yeah.
ever have it after like long day at a regional, didn't eat or drink anything. That chicken
Yeah.
in that moment is the best thing on the planet. But I think in any other
Right.
context, it would be so mid. Like,
Cane's makes it really easy for you because they only have one thing on the menu.
there's no stress. There's no stress. Do you want the chicken and bread, or do you want the chicken on the bread?
And the coleslaw, man. Don't forget.
Yeah, Robbie and your coleslaw.
No way. Slaw believers. Wait, why am I going to trust your little bro's opinion when you're out there getting coleslaw at Cane's?
It's troll. It's troll. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I can't tell sometimes. Who was it? Was it you or Suspect that got like 4 coleslaws?
Dude, that was Nate. That was Kaori. Kaori got 5.
5.
5 coleslaws. Dude, I don't think I can stomach one. That's
Sorry,
crazy.
Kaori's a real one. Kaori's a real one.
That's so good. Hey, I guess speaking of Kaori, he's gonna be in that Triscuit Invitational coming up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Triscuit
Fire
Invitational.
event, dude.
I'm excited for that. I like the way he's kind of rolling it out. You know what I mean? I feel like you don't see local events kind of have like slow information releases and kind of build up like that. I respect it. It's cool.
Dude. So for those that don't know, there actually was a Triscuit Invitational 1. This is the second one.
Yeah.
But dude, it's such a nice event. Like, it's like an event, but it's actually like, it might be like my favorite local of last year.
Really?
No troll. Yeah,
Awesome.
dude.
Awesome.
He gets food. He makes us all feel good. Bro.
Listen. I want to shout this out right now. There's a $120 prize pot at that event, and it's out of Triscuit's pocket.
Yeah,
Dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Triscuit's
crazy.
putting out
He's
money,
giving all that
time,
money
and
to
effort.
Tony, man.
he really is.
Yeah,
Dude.
he's just donating
All that money
to
to
the
Tony.
Tony Bank.
No, he's got to make the prize pool be like winner gets 30%. It just kind of disperses evenly throughout like top 8.
I was saying Tony shouldn't be allowed to like collect money
yeah, I think I saw you say that.
from any events.
Do you know Rob, do you know much about like the Triscuit Invitational? Like what is it supposed to be? Like what's it supposed like? Is it supposed to be just a chill thing? Is it supposed to be like
It's
really
a chill thing.
competitive?
They want it to be PR
Is it-
eligible.
It is. So because it has a prize pool and it has, it's not like a regional or anything, or of that level. It's not like the Boise thing,
Right.
which did count as like a premier event, I believe.
Yeah.
This isn't that. It's just a local, but you can still get good wins if you're going there.
Yeah.
Mostly it's just to have a good time, but I mean it's still competition. There's a prize.
Do you know
on
what
line,
the
right?
do you know who the top seeds are going to?
I do. I'm not. Obviously, Tony's going.
Mhm.
I'm going. I don't know if he said that. I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to like.
Yeah, I was
Okay,
about to say I
okay.
don't want to like mess up
Okay.
his rollout.
Yeah,
I was
I
doing
don't.
the
I
same
don't
thing.
wanna, I can say I'm going because.
Ooh, the Garcat.
Yeah, I don't worry about it.
But it'll have some like pretty good PR players going.
Yeah. There's some
and,
solid
like,
players.
Some top seeds of the Arcadian.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good. Yeah, like those kind of events are the most fun when they have matchups you don't see and matchups that are close, right? Those are like the two things that you want.
There's definitely a lot of that. Yeah,
from a player or a spectator. You just want matches that are close and you don't see all.
Yeah,
it'll be a good event.
I will say I'm not gonna leak the matchups, but there's a lot of really fun ones. Like early on, there's gonna be a lot of exciting stuff.
Except my pool. I'm kidding. No, it's so fun.
Yeah, it says everybody. You know, every time there's an event with pools, it's like, oh, everyone's pool is so cool, except mine. Mine sucks.
Not mine, bro.
Shout out MK Leo's pool at Watch the Throne. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
bro.
Dude, double Sonic Louis money.
I don't think it's that bad for Leo, actually.
Yeah,
he's
Leo
great
is-
against Sonic.
Leo's pretty good against Sonic.
It's just
Even
funny.
though he's down against Ken lifetime,
He's what I didn't realize is that this year he's 3-3 on Sonics. I would have assumed that Sonics has been like messing him up recently, but this year they're 3-3.
He cooked him with Corrin.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It's like a wave
So,
dash or something.
Something
Like
like
wave
that,
shine. I don't remember. Which it's so funny to me how like notable Corrin is as like an anti-meta character right now. Like she does well against what I would say is the 3 best characters right now.
Wait. It's hard to say. She's good against some of the better characters, but
Yeah.
I don't think she's great against Kazi. I think she does have a cool spot in the meta because she's kind of like the new traditional swordy, because she is like she is overtuned in certain ways. Like her recovery is very hard to challenge, and so she can also make it back from really far, right? The way that she combos doesn't really change between 0 and 25. They're still sort of the same routes, and so
they're also
so
consistent. They're
right,
consistent.
The character doesn't really get gimped. The character can edge guard. The character has good ways of finding kills. She's got niche stuff too with.
I was just
pin
about to
and
say
neutral
that.
beat.
Yeah.
So she only has, she feels like a good character.
Yeah, she
we
kind
just
of has
needed
like
some- we just needed some
sprinklings of
heroes.
everything you need in the meta, right? Like
Right.
decent matchups, decent like cheese if you want it, but like not really. Like it kind of takes some
Yeah.
setup, like solid, consistent damage output. Good
she's
kill
definitely
power.
really solid.
Yeah.
The only thing she really doesn't have is the mobility.
Yeah.
She doesn't have good enough airspeed or ground speed to chase characters like a Fox can or other characters like that. So that's like the only thing she's really like lacking. So matchups like Samus can be annoying because you have to really grind,
Right.
or Snake too, to really grind your way to closing that space or that sort of thing.
Yeah, I saw the light recently on how easy Samus is. People always talk about like easy characters and stuff like that, and I feel like it's hard to like know what that means until you are like playing at a decent level, right? But there's some characters that you pick up, and once you like, it's like you have to figure out which buttons are good and when to use them, and that's kind of all you need to do to an extent.
Right.
It's like base level conditioning. But yeah, about pools, I also wanted to talk about Watch the Throne, because I think that's going to be a pretty exciting event with a lot of really good players at it. And what were you about to say, Gary?
They switched the seeds, man.
Did they win?
Aquila and Mia switched,
So Aquila is 1 seed, or
no, Aquila's 3 seed now.
Oh, okay.
So Mia was in DeBuzz's pool, which was like really good for DeBuzz, you know. But but now Mia's in the first pool. I think that's like the biggest change. So
Yeah.
Mia's probably gonna sweep, and Aqua's probably gonna do really well in his pool now too.
Why? Do you know why they changed them?
I don't actually, but
Interesting.
I mean that's like the main thing. It's just they kind of get better matchups, and they're gonna do better in their pools now.
Yeah.
Right.
For like Rob, like who are you like looking for to watch or like who do you want to watch? Who are you rooting for, et cetera, et cetera?
So obviously I want to see AK do well, just because Snake. But
Yeah.
AK's playstyle isn't super like I don't love it a ton. It's just it gets the job done and it's solid. I'd still want to see Snake do well though.
Yeah, always.
And Light and Spargo. I really want Spargo to like come back and prove that he's good. He's the best dude. I really want him to show that. Team Fundies.
You
I'm
ju-
not Team Fundies, but I want him to.
But you support
means
Team Fundies.
You just really like Pool
I'm a
4.
Team Fundies. I root for them, bro. I hope he does well. I hope Light does well. Just because I love Fox as well. I play Fox a bit. Great character, even though
Yeah,
he's broken and bullshit.
your friend, question mark, exclamation mark, period. Right.
Bro,
That guy.
I love Fox.
It's the
I love
punctuation
Fox so
tag.
much. I'd be like telling him all this Fox shit. I'm always like thinking about Fox, you know.
Yeah.
So
Fox is fun. Fox is fun for sure.
so yeah, I want to see those two do well and AK. Basically, pool 4 is who I'm watching.
do you?
It'd also be cool to see Bloom do well. Bloom's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So
Isn't Bloom like the bottom seed?
apparently, but
That seems weird
Bloom's
to me. I
not
would have
gonna-
guessed it would be
Bloom's not gonna
WebJP.
place it.
Not that no hate to him. I love WebJP. I want to see him do well as well. But
yeah, him or Louis Money would probably be.
yeah, it
But
was like fun underdog type thing.
dude, Bloom's so good. I don't know if you've watched Bloom play much,
Yeah,
but
Bloom's a dog.
holy
Bloom's
shit.
I saw someone say recently that Lima's the best Bayo player, but Bloom is the best player that uses Bayo, or it was something like that, where Bloom is just like
That
an
makes
insanely
sense.
good player that just happens
Yeah.
to use Bayo. You know what I mean?
He plays like Roy now too. I think he's just fucking around with whoever,
Does
and
he?
he's winning.
Yeah,
so.
that makes sense. He's
I
one of
think
those
he'll
players.
beat Kurama, and he has a good chance of beating Tweak. Mia probably not. I'll just be honest.
What do
Game
you-
and Watch
What do you guys think
something
about Tweak at that event? I feel like he's such a wild card these days.
Tweak has a good pool.
True.
Tweak has a.
Do you think so?
I mean, I know that Japan has a lot of like decent Diddy Kongs, but they don't have like big caliber Diddy Kong.
Or maybe they
So I
do,
think
and we just don't know about it.
I think he can. I think Tweak can beat Mia, and I think the matchup is like the way that Tweak plays. Tweak has of recent beat Meister. And
I
then
thought he lost to Meister recently.
no, not most recent, but they do go back and.
Oh yeah.
And then Tweak is really good against Mario. Tweak has been good against Mario for his entire Smash.
Right.
I don't see him. I don't see him losing to Kurama.
He's not too great against Bayo though.
That's
think-
fair. The matchup's good.
I
but
think possible he could lose to Mia and Bloom and be like third seed at the pool.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's
Is
true.
my concern for him. I think in like most other pools he'd do super well.
Do you guys know it's the format is all 4 players move on to the final bracket, right? Or does anyone get eliminated?
I think so. I think they'll move
It's
on.
Okay.
it's the same way that like late stage summits would do it. So there's going to be a
Yeah.
gauntlet phase the same way,
Okay.
and then
Those are dope. I
half
like
will-
those a lot.
Half will be in winners and half will be in losers.
Do you guys like the idea of round robins for anything that isn't like summit style invitationals? Because I've seen people talking about the the validity of round robins in open brackets.
I don't. And I'm probably just saying that because I'm very biased against them because I got kind of burned at one recently. Just because I was like,
Oh.
God damn it, dude.
Was that the battle
Um,
before Boise?
It was at the battle before Boise won.
Okay.
Just because the way they work with that game count and how games matter rather than just sets.
Yeah.
I think that's something that you normally never account for in main and like regular brackets, and that changing how the final brackets are like laid out is pretty messed up
Yeah.
in my head. For example,
Sure.
I went 2-1 at the Battle of Boise, 1 in my pool. Like I lost only to Dice game 5, and I
Right.
was third seed of the pool, made it out loser side.
Yeah.
Because Cal,
Yeah.
hey Cal,
Yeah.
I love Cal, but he beat
Mhm.
Dice, and I'm like, fuck, dude.
Dude, I
Right.
can't believe Cal beat Dice at that event. That was so fun.
So it's just things like that like other people go 2-1 and make it out for first seed, right? And it just comes down to game count, and
It depends.
normally you don't account for that or even think about it when you're playing a set. Like, oh yeah, I can't throw away games. you
Well,
know?
sometimes in these round robin formats, if they have time, they'll have the seeds that are the same play against each other again. So if there's like a tie
Yeah.
for second,
They'll do
like we've seen this
tiebreakers.
before. I'm trying to remember who. I think it was.
It was
like, yeah,
Acola, the Buzz, and Aegis player.
Cosmos.
Was it Shuton? It might have been It was Cosmos at some
Yeah.
point. There's
So-
those three.
Yeah. So, in the way that Summit deals with that is they just play each other again in a best of 3, and whoever and like you sit down, and if you win 2 in a row, then you're good because there's only
Yeah.
3 people. But
I'm
you-
down for that. That's really cool, in
So-
my opinion.
See,
Do you like
then-
that? Okay.
That's
then
what-
that also leads to if you have a 3-way tie, but then the players kind of RPS each other really well. You can have like situations where people are like playing tiebreakers like forever. I know there's this thing in Melee.
Did you see that video, bro?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
also
The
saw the
Melee-
same video.
Yeah.
You all saw that?
Yeah.
Melee players.
It was a cool video.
It's a great video.
Mhm.
Great video.
It was Prince. Was it Prince Abu? No,
It was
I'm
Prince
sorry.
Abu, Captain Smuckers, and Animal.
Animal. The
The animal. The animal.
So,
A funny combo.
great video. I don't know what it's called, but
No,
I'm sure someone out there knows what we're talking about.
Yeah. Shout out that video by
Shout
that
out
guy
video.
with that title. Go watch
Like
it.
Turned Down for Walt, I think. I think Turned Down for Walt.
Is it a Walt
Yeah,
video?
yeah, it was a Walt
Same
video,
form.
but I don't think Walt did any voiceover. Like, I assume he wrote it, but it was like other people voicing it over the whole time, which was cool. Which was cool.
Great video,
Um,
great video.
Yeah, Rob, you mentioned AK earlier. That reminded me of something I wanted to ask you about. Do you have specific Snake players that you kind of look for and like watch and model yourself after, or do you kind of are you more self-motivated these days, I guess?
So for a long time, there was no Snake that I thought really played like me, I guess. I play kind of weird in terms of like aerials, I guess. I'm a little bit too active, I'd say, with like trying to call out jumps and defensive options in some spots when I should be like, I don't know, just playing super defensively, and like snowballing leads.
Right.
Until I saw her play. I saw her play Neo like a couple months ago, maybe like 6 months ago or something, at a Australia tournament. I was like, this guy knows what's up. He does the aerials. He's playing how I like want to play. you
Yeah.
know?
So Hurt's your
So
guy.
Hurt's my guy, and watching him beat Mia, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
Game and Watch is maybe doable now.
Right.
See, and it's
like,
good that
all-
you like the way Hurt plays so much because he's like one of, if not the best Snake in the world right now.
He's probably the best right now. AK is starting to actually adopt some stuff from him, which is making like
Yeah.
kind of a more universal Snake playstyle. Which
He's
I
also
like.
adopting Steve.
He's been adopting Steve.
I
But
know, dude.
If you were to try to like to paint the picture about what makes Hurt different than Apollo Kage, different from Shogun or whatever, like how would you try to describe that for someone that doesn't know that much? Or I'm sorry, Snake, wrong character.
AK plays very. He's very matchup dependent, which is good. But he doesn't tend to go for like hard callouts in the air. You see him use like some. He doesn't use nair as much as Hurt does. He doesn't use like back airs as much. Normally, if he does, it's for aerial like denial rather than calling out places. He uses grenades really well for that as well. His crouching is amazing. Hurt super aggressive, honestly. Like for a Snake, he's really aggressive in a lot of matchups. Not as grenade heavy, even though his grenade setups are amazing. Like his placement's so good of them. He knows when people are gonna like use their double jump in neutral to avoid grenades, and he places them perfectly. Super like scrappy, really fun to watch. Him versus
Your
Beast
guy.
Mode Paul, he's just like forward airing in neutral, and it's like all of them are hitting. It's a reactable move.
Right, yeah.
Beast Mode Paul's getting forward aired.
Was it Sephiroth or Hero?
Hero. He can shield. He pulls menu. Fucking Hurt runs up and forward airs. And I'm like,
Dude,
what is going?
he's too busy trying to read French or something now.
Yeah.
Goofy stuff.
Yeah, Hero seems like the character to do that type of thing, I guess. Like Hero kind of gives you a moment of time where you can make that option.
Yeah.
That being said, Beast Mode Paul does shield up being it's whatever. On reaction, by the way. I'm not here to talk about that. Shogun super grenade heavy, MVD super trap heavy. That's like the short of it, I guess.
Okay.
Shogun's also super. Shogun actually plays like Brandon, kind of. If I had to compare Brandon to someone, where he's kind of like running away in the air quite a bit, and just using what little mobility Snake has to stay out of your range and
Definitely
keep you
does.
in like grenade range, you know. That's how
What
Shogun plays.
what matchup like is that really exemplified in?
Diddy.
Diddy?
Really good against Diddy.
Hmm.
I think it's really good against Diddy.
I gotcha.
Um,
Like avoiding
Hurts,
avoiding like rising forward air kind of thing, or like banana
yeah,
throw,
well, you just
monkey
get
flip.
Diddy to go in, like at any point, he takes 1,000 from grenades, or you trade with him super hard,
Uh-huh.
and you get out. You just run away.
Yeah.
You're just trying, basically, Diddy. You're just trying to degenerate trade the whole time with back air grenade, like grab banana, do Nikita,
Yeah, that trading seems
just
disgusting.
spam. Yeah, and that's playstyle is super good against Diddy. Where I think like Hertz is good against Fox, even though AK beat Fox. I think Hertz is kind of good against Fox. It depends.
Is that kind of like how you think about Snake? Is like in the play styles of top level Snakes is like, oh, this more works against this kind of character, this more works against this kind of character.
I do, and I can really feel it too when I play against certain people and certain characters that I'm confident against. I'm like, my play style is perfect for this opponent, this character. You know?
Is that who's a good player character? Maybe you did better than Brandon, or it feels good, or
Dice. Actually, Dice.
Dice.
I still lose to Dice quite a bit, but I think my playstyle does much better against Dice than Brandon's does. Because Dice will just play denial the whole time and reflector and laser you. And if you're just trying to like stay away from him, and hit him with grenades, like that shit's not gonna work. It's just not gonna cut it.
How are you?
That's a good example.
How are you at like adjusting your play style if you have to play something drastically different? Would you say you're good at playing like a different Snake, or do you kind of get stuck in your ways sometimes?
It depends. I don't think I'm great at the Brandon play style. I wish I was better. Like I think it actually versus Wolf, it's pretty good. Where I have to like run away a lot, kind of, and get him to come in. I'm trying to like fight him in a lot of situations.
Right.
Against Diddy, I'm not super great. It's really that kind of play style where I feel I struggle. Against Rob as well. I don't think I'm great against Rob. Yoshi, the characters that can generally like punish you for trying to scrap with them in that range, I guess. Like where dash tech doesn't work and they can drift out, punish you for like approaching or doing aggressive options.
Right. Right. A lot of times in like those kind of situations, Brandon will kind of choose to just like continue his traps, even though that the opponent has gotten closer to him. He's going to just continue setting up his traps just a little bit farther away. Most
just like shift
and that makes it. I noticed when I was playing Pink, actually, that Pink does that too.
Pink's a trapper.
He would just keep pushing his wall farther and farther back and never trying to burst. He wasn't like it was very weird playing against him. Really didn't want to fight ever. Like not even on Wolf's terms, just like in a way that isn't shrouded or like covered by ground. It was very weird. It felt very different when I was fighting him.
Do you think that playstyle is like close to as exhausting or tiring for the Snake player as it is for the other player? Like, do you think that takes a lot of effort from Snake?
It takes some effort. I don't think it's as exhausting as being the opponent. Because like I play Zero Suit against Snake, you know? And I think Avian plays that way sometimes. And it is exhausting as like the opponent, you know? And I know that. I know that very well. It's exhausting as the opponent to try and play against grenades perfectly the whole time, not get clipped by anything, play denial the whole time, or like, just staying out of burst range. That whole game is kind of annoying.
Yeah, you and Avian's low-key a bit of a rivalry these days, no? Like, you guys kind of go even?
We do actually go very even. But Min Snake is, like, horrible, so we just do Min Zero Suit now.
Yeah, Min Snake's
it's a bottom 4 matchup for Snake.
What's your, like...
That being said, I still play it against some people. Just not Avian, because he also plays Snake. And,
right. And Avian's strong suit, I will always say this, Avian's strong suit is the execution. I'm going to hit you off stage and you will die, right? That sort of thing. And you can feel that as Snake as well as you can Wolf in my case, or Mario.
He's really good, man. He's really good.
He's
very good.
He has said before, like, why would I try to get better at like neutral and like covering options if I get you off stage once and I kill you? Like he has absolutely zero shame in that's how he plays. He picked up Min Min because he hated the character and wanted to just like
what you gotta
win.
do, man.
Like that's what he did.
That's what you gotta do. That's what we gotta do in this game.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about what's the team looking like? You're on this esports team for Oakland. What does that look like? How does that feel like? How was your? I know you guys were part of the tournament thing that culminated in MSU versus I forget some other team that you guys played online. You guys played online. I overheard
very close to being.
I overheard that Triscuit barely lost to Quid. Is that right?
Yeah,
really?
He had he was
that would have been
restock 90%. Quid was at last stock. He had three. So it was like, and it came down to like a super last hit. He actually hit him with an apple. He hit him with 2 apples. One of them kill spark, and he barely didn't die. Quid barely lived.
Double Michigan in grand finals would have been ridiculous. That would have been so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you guys still have had to fly out to Boise or?
Oh yeah,
I think we would have, which is funny.
So
really.
Yeah, that's so good.
Same flight as MSU. Hey,
yeah, take the same plane.
You're on the same flight.
That's so good.
I sit next to Adam. I sit next to Suspect. So. Yeah. But MSU, they're all great, by the way. I've also, I mean, Oakland's awesome. We have Anthony, of course, isn't cool. The Cloud player.
Of course he's not.
Spectre, the Ness, Avian, Min Min, Lucas, Nat79.
Do you
guys play 4?
Pardon? Yeah, we play 4 people. 4 people.
Do you guys
Triscuit
intentionally save Triscuit for last, or does it just kind of wind up going that way sometimes? Because I feel like every time I see a crew battle, I was gonna say he's either starting or anchoring.
Yeah, it just depends on like matchups, you know. Like against Northwood, we kind of put him somewhere in between. We don't normally save him for last or first, you know. So
how does Northwood usually stack up against you guys?
They're pretty good against us. I think so they have Frostbite and Zai.
Oh, Frostbite's a dog, man.
Frostbite kind of beats Tony, and then Zai kind of beats me, and then Avian beats Frostbite, and Tony beats Zai.
Okay, right.
And they have J-Jaw, who like Tony and I beat, but Pablo loses to, or Avian loses to.
Right.
So it can be matchup dependent.
It's just a weird like monkey wrench we got going on.
Yeah.
I think every time we played them, we've taken a set, I think. Or we've at least taken like 2 singular sets against them, but haven't won a full thing for some.
The variation in your team's composition is really strong. And if you had Spectre or Nad, I mean, actually with the 4 that you guys have, right? You guys have like 2 long range like zoner archetypes. One of them kills you if you come close, they kill you, and the other one is if you are far away, they kill you. A sword, arguably the best sword character in the game, and just a high tier zoner, right? And that lineup, I mean, the only thing you're missing would be like a Mario or Ness kind of archetype, and that's like that lineup is so strong. It
is pretty good. It's pretty good. I think when you look at a team like Northwood, their team is a little bit less balanced, and I could see them running into more holes in their just having characters that don't have as wide a matchup. But Kirby K. Rool are definitely still good characters.
I was gonna say they definitely have 2, arguably 3 characters where they have this one thing, and then when you solve that one thing, you can kind of have your way until they figure out how to adapt. And once you get to that point, it's drastically skewed in your favor. So I could definitely see them running into some bad matchups, both in terms of characters, but even more so players, right? Because like, what do they do when they find a player who is experienced against Kirby and K. Rool?
Right.
Not that much.
I think J-Jaw, J-Jaw's a great like counter pick player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends. Like against our team, J-Jaw isn't the real issue. It's
he's
Zion
really not.
Frostbite. You know,
Mm.
it's like it's the good characters. It's not the We Fit the K roll. The Togepi's also amazing, by the way. Togepi, Copal, they're good, very good as well. Same with J-Jaw, but
I feel like
Zion Frostbite are like killers, dude.
the OU character lineup kind of hard counters like that type of cheese, if you know what I mean, right? Where it's like you have Min Snake and Cloud and Pac-Man. Yeah, all of them do such a good job dealing with just weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's definitely the high tiers we run into problems with, and I think MSU struggles against not struggles, but has different issues against Northwood, where like their Zion, their Frostbite aren't as big a deal, but the Soapy Pop and the
J-Jaw,
Yeah.
they're killers against MSU.
J-Jaw gives them
Their
issues.
characters get like.
Do they have anybody that
flat.
like consistently beats J-Jaw these days?
Hawk
does? Okay.
Hawk's really good against.
Yeah, Dan.
Like that's why Hawk's so important to MSU, man.
Mhm.
Without Rob, that character's crazy. But,
Definitely a little bit crazy.
I think we're right about wrapping up. So
okay.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So do you have anything else, Rob?
I'll see you all at the Arcadian. I hope
Yep.
seasons are going well. If you're trying to get PR or something, but
Right.
can't relate, man. I'm kidding.
Rob talking a big game. What the heck?
Let him enter the Arcadian. Let him in.
Tough.
All right. We are out. We don't have an outro yet, but
Yeah. So thank you everybody for tuning in. It's been fun. If you stuck to the end, we appreciate it. Let us know in the comments if anything was like going wacky, didn't look great, should be changed, any ideas. We're gonna be open to it. We are just getting We are just getting this whole process started. We just wanted to jump in, get them out there as fast as possible. So if you have any ideas, they might just be as good as ours, if not better. So do feel free to share those. Thank you, Rob, of course, for joining.
Of course, it was wonderful.
I'd say that was a solid first episode.
subscribe for more.
Yeah.
The big three.
Goodbye. See you guys next time.